Read that.
No second.
Okay. Okay.
Ephesians 6 and 12.
Yes, sir.
Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
You see that? So these are all the things that we battle against when you keep the laws, when you follow after Christ, when you be obedient to the word. These are the things you're going to be wrestling against at all times. Okay? It's not going to stop. All right? You know, if my child is doing something that he don't have no business doing, 9 times out of 10, he's probably dealing with a spirit. Okay? He's probably dealing with a spirit. All right? Let's go to Matthew 12 and 43.
Matthew 12 and 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest and findeth none.
You see that? So when the unclean spirit, a lot of times, you know, like for me, when I got baptized, unclean spirit hopped out. When you decide to keep the law, statutes, and commandments and follow after Christ and know the truth, you know, these spirits leave you. Read it from the top. Read it from the top. I'm sorry.
When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest and findeth none.
You see that? He's seeking somewhere to go. So now that this spirit has left me, he's seeking somewhere to go. And where's he going? Room, into my daughter's room. Okay? He's seeking somewhere to go. Okay? Keep going.
Then he says, I will return into my house from whence I came out.
Okay, so now he might find them clean and garnished. So now he's going to try to come to his original house, which is me. Okay, keep going.
And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept and garnished.
You're swept, you're garnished, you're clean.
Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself.
And see, and as soon as you jack up, okay, now it's 7 spirits in you. Now it's harder to come back into this knowledge. It's harder to be obedient. It's harder. Okay? It's even harder. Because now you're dealing with 7 spirits. Because he went and got his buddies. Read 45 from the top again.
Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. And they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first.
See that? The last state that you was in is going to be worse. The state that that you're going to be in is going to be worse than it was when you first had that 1 spirit in you. Now you're going to be worse because you got 7 spirits. Finish it off.
Even so shall
our kids be righteous, man. But it starts with us. It starts with the parents. Okay? It starts with the parents. Let's get 1 Peter 5 and 8.
1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober. Be vigilant.
Be vigilant. Be sober. Okay?
Because your adversary, the devil, is as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
You see that goes right back to the other scripture. He's walking around roaming, seeking whoever he may devour. So he'll put a temptation. You want to be tempted. And 10 times out of 10 is Satan tempting you. Now when you actually sin, then that's when them spirits say, okay, cool, I can dwell here. Okay? But don't, that's why we pray, about the Most High delivering us from temptation. Deliver us from the evil. Okay? Because you're going to be tempted. This is why we have to constantly stay in prayer, because Satan is walking around seeking whom he may devour. Let's get 2 Corinthians 2 and 11.
2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
So if you don't want Satan to get an advantage over you, take advantage of you, you shouldn't be ignorant of Satan's devices. And these days, Satan has a lot of devices. And that's like TV, television, these cartoons. Okay, we a lot of times the TV, it just seems like a scapegoat for just to let the children sit in front of the television while we go off and do what we do so they won't get on our nerves. because we don't really want to talk to our children. So, oh yes, go ahead, sit in front of the television. Go ahead, yeah, just okay. These things are stumbling blocks for our children. The television, movies, stumbling blocks, toys, baby dolls.
Most definitely.
Letting our daughters play with baby dolls. They playing house at a young age and all, playing Truth Dare, and all these other different games. These things are stumbling blocks. Video games, stumbling blocks for our children.
Guns,
Toys. Guns, all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about. All the things that we think, is okay for our children. Oh, he's just a kid. Oh, he's just a kid. He don't really know. Satan is dealing with your kid. Believe me. He's dealing with it because it's better if you discipline them opposed to the Most High discipline them. And ungodly friends. A lot of times that's where they learn a lot of the stuff that they learn from. It's from some other little boy. Well, what's name said or he said. And then they come home and they won't say nothing to you about it because they too scared to talk to you because you don't talk to them anyway. You don't have a relationship with your kid. So now he's scared.
Even over here, the Arab women do not let their daughters play with baby dolls, and one of the reasons because I was told that it teaches them to have children at a young age. We have girls like 8, 9, 10. By the time they're 14, they ready to have a baby. And when you have little girls already like 10, 11 years old, you see them with these babies, and it's like they already telling you they want a baby. So. It's just the opposite, that we trying to prevent, especially in the black and Hispanic neighborhood, of having our young boys play with toy guns. You know what I mean? Because we don't want our kids, it's like we don't want them playing with toy guns because we know that one, it could be mistaken outside. We know plenty of cops that have heard of many stories of cops shooting our children because they thought this toy gun was real. You know what I mean? So we teach our kids negativity when we give them these devices.
Yeah. And one of the first places they see them is TV.
That's right.
Around Christmas time, boy, you can't get rid of one of them toy commercials. I and all the commercials around Christmas time. I used to look forward to the commercials, so you can tell your mom and dad what you wanted. Another thing that's a stumbling block is ungodly parents. If the parent is wicked and not doing the right thing, then there goes your kid. Now he brung up the same whatever, all kinds of things, man, that we introduce to our kids at a young age, and don't even know that we're the ones that's doing it. Then we wonder why they turn up the way they turn up. Okay, so let's go to Matthew 19 and 13.
Matthew 19 and 13. Then were there brought unto him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray, and the disciples rebuked them. But Yeshua said, Suffer little children, and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven.
You see that? So teach your children about Christ, man. Teach them the truth about Christ, man. Don't deny your children Christ, man. That's key. Some of us, just want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, don't want to follow Christ, and vice versa. We don't want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, but we want to follow after Christ. This is how my parents raised me. All the law is done away with. All you gotta do is, say you're saved. And I realized that we're supposed to be obedient, man. So now that I have the truth, I gotta reverse it. Let's go to Colossians 3 and 1.
Colossians 3 and 1. If ye be risen with Christ, seek those things which are.
I don't care about these things on this earth, these toys, television, all these stumbling blocks put before our people, man. Don't care about these things. Set our things on the Most High. Okay, what do we have to do in order to please the Most High? These are the things that we should be setting our affections on. Keep going.
For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Christ in the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
When Christ, who is our life, shall appear,
Mm-hmm.
then shall ye also appear with him in glory.
You see that Christ is supposed to be our life.
Mortify therefore your members, which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, and inordinate affection, evil, concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
Mm-hmm.
For which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience.
Because at the end of the day, we are all children of the Most High. Okay? And these things are coming down on the children of disobedience. So it's about being obedient.
Colossians 3, that was Colossians 3 and
3, and we started at 1.
we started at 1 all the way to 6.
On the children of disobedience, keep going.
And for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience.
Uncleanness, covenantedness. Okay, all these things are coming upon the children of disobedience. These are all things that are part of the earth that people are doing here on this earth. Okay, keep going.
In the which ye also walk sometimes when ye live in them.
You see that? So, there was a time when I was walking in this stuff, doing it, being obedient to what the world.
Ye also put up all these, anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth.
You see that? This is the things that we should be teaching our kids, man. How to talk to your friends. I mean, you'd be surprised, man. It's the most simplest things. Talk to your kids, man. And teach them about this word, this Bible. This stuff comes first, man. And if you can't really, if you feel like you can't teach your kids, then get yourself right. So that way you can teach your kids. You have a responsibility. We all have a responsibility. Keep going.
Lie not one to another, seeing that they have put off the old man with his deeds.
And don't lie to your children. Talk about sex. Don't lie to your children. Stop making things, what's the word? Stop making things so light, like for me, my parents didn't want to talk about sex. There's certain things they didn't talk to me about until I became a teenager. And by then, I already experienced everything. So, what are you telling me? So, yes, talk to your kids while they're young, man. So, deal with them while they're young. Don't lie to them. No, because they're going to find out eventually. Okay? And then you don't want them to find out from some other little boy or some other little girl. Okay? Or something that they saw on television. Or a movie. Or whatever the case is. Okay? Keep going. What else? Is there anything else there? Read 9 again.
Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him.
You see that? Read that again. 10.
And he have put on the new man.
Put on the new man,
which is renewed in knowledge.
Which is renewed in the knowledge of the Most High. Your kids have to know who they serving. Okay, keep going.
After the image of him that created him.
See that? After the image of him that created him. Jump down to 18 and 20.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as if it is fit in the Lord. Husband, love your wife, and be not bitter against them.
You see that? Husband, love your wives, and wives, submit to your husbands. Keep going.
Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well-pleasing unto the Lord.
And children, obey your parents in all things, especially if you have a godly parent. Okay? Because, especially if you have a godly parent. Even if there's a situation to where, a lot of our people are in these kind of situations also, where you may, two people may come together and who already have kids by somebody else. Okay? If that person, if one of them parents is trying to live godly, especially if it's the man, then you better make sure you listen to every word. And you should be thankful that you have a godly parent that's following the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? You should be thankful. All right? Then that's pretty much it on it. Let's go to Deuteronomy 30 and 1.
Deuteronomy 30 and 1.
30 and 1.
Deuteronomy 30 and 1. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse,
the blessing and the curse,
which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations.
You see that? We should be thinking about them among all the nations. They're going to come to mind.